off.
Yeah.
Hello. Oh my goodness. Hello.
Wait, are we live?
Yes.
Wow.
Hi.
You guys, every time people are gonna think I do this like it's a surprise and don't give everyone a massive countdown every time.
Well, you
Nick,
didn't
so
this
much heads
time.
up, dude.
So, like, I mean, you gave us a countdown to this section, but the last section we were just free talking.
I jumped in.
Jump right into the fray. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, hi everyone.
Yeah. Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Oh God, what are you all doing here? How weird it is that you've invaded our houses.
I suppose they're here to play D&D. Sorry and you're welcome that the first 7 minutes of stream were unmuted, and thank you for telling me.
That one revelation created a cascade of technical difficulties before we just went live.
It truly did.
If
Fine.
any...
It's fine. It'll be fine.
It's fine. It's fine. We rolled a 1 on the vibe check. It'll be fine.
It's fine.
It's fine.
It's probably
We rolled a
fine.
1 on the vibe check. Oh my god.
Really,
Oh, we did.
really did.
It was all worth it to hear the time warp being sung slightly off beat as a round.
Why is that what was allowed to just be out there? Is us just singing offbeat time warp by like 2 seconds, just 2 seconds.
That's why they told us, so that we would stop.
Well, yeah, no, that's true, but yeah, please forgive any further technical difficulties going forward. We rolled that 1, and apparently we've all just jumped into critical failure. But welcome to a very special edition of Hellions. This is our Ned.
Excuse me. I'm
Motherfucker,
drinking
mute.
soda.
Welcome to a very special episode of Hellions when Ned apparently burps at you all, but that's great. No, this is our first episode of a new season-ish,
Oh,
and we are switching over. No, I'm not going to make you change everything, don't worry.
okay.
And we are switching over to Pathfinder. We've decided to drop D&D because D&D is awful. Wizards are terrible. We're not going to talk about that. We're just going to let that lie over there, like the steaming pile of crap that it is. So yeah, welcome to the Pathfinder system. We know that there are issues with Paizo. We are aware. And yet, this is where we have decided to build our little fortress. Mainly because the system is way more inclusive. So
But yeah, so please bear with us as players and DM all learn Pathfinder together. Because I'm pretty sure I'm also the only person who played first edition, so...
I also played for several years.
There we
but it was
go.
like a decade ago. I'm pretty sure you've played it more recently.
A little more recently. So yeah, let us know on the Discord when we mess things up, and then we probably maybe won't fix it. We'll just play the game with our own rules.
Please don't yell at me if I get things wrong.
Oh no, don't yell. No one yell. Who yells?
People that want to get kicked off the Discord.
Hopefully no one will yell, but I am trying my best. I have never played Pathfinder. I have read the book, but I have never played it, so we're gonna try.
It's gonna be fine,
make
bud.
mistakes. I will make mistakes. If anybody calls me out on them, you're gonna get timed out.
Perfect.
But no, yeah, please bear with us. I am very nervous to be playing an entirely new system, so... but yeah, I suppose we should introduce ourselves, shouldn't we, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably a thing that we should do.
And I guess instead of doing a wow, words are hard, guys.
Question?
Yeah, instead of doing a question this week, I'm feeling like maybe we should do like a reintroduction of our characters. Because you may have noticed from our drawings that perhaps a lot has changed this loop. So maybe we should start with the big change, the one big one, and then go into intros.
I think that is a very good idea. We should have discussed this before we went live. I'm blanking on everything.
That's
Who
okay.
would like to hear a recap of what Hellions is as we step into our new era?
Yes, please.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Once upon a time, there was a great Lyceum, a school of magic and adventuring, known across all the lands, that called Carnocht, the City of Anvils, home. It was here that 6 of its students uncovered a grave secret. The Hellions of Carnocht, GoldPetal, Tal Erringwell, Yule MossBluff, Yenna Mun, Noelani Menderes, and Zanthe Kalhir, through little fault of their own, dragged an old dragon from his sleeping and scheming beneath the halls of the school, and pulled him into the light. Abraxas was his name, a Mercury dragon, whose motives, while unknown, were hardly friendly. Carnocht, you see, was stuck in a time loop, the same 400 years playing out over and over again, and Abraxas, the children feared, was using all of that time for evil. Banding together, aided by magical stones that allowed them to live through the loops with their memories intact, they tried to stop him, to get to the bottom of these loops, as friends and gods were drawn into the fray. It wasn't long before they discovered the truth. The time loops were caused by a perpetual motion machine, the likes of which nothing had been seen before. With the help of a professor and friend, Balthazar Klein, the Hellions learned that many loops ago, back in the original timeline of Carnocht, one of their very own, the original GoldPetal, the original Tink, had brought all of time and space crashing down for one reason: to save the life of the man he loved. Together, the Hellions moved to confront him and Abraxas both, but Tink Prime was wily. With the help of his draconic friend, he infiltrated the Hellions, stealing their stones at their most vulnerable moment, leaving only Zanthe and a precious few others to carry the burden of memory. Our story starts the very next loop, in a very new Carnocht, with a very changed set of Hellions. Now, Noelani, Babs,
Yeah.
want to introduce yourself and your character?
Hi, everybody. I'm Babs. I'm a writer, and you can find me online at Mustache Babs. But I'm most excited to be here because I'm playing Noelani. She's a rogue magus. She's from the Feywild. She just transferred in. She's so excited to be here.
I love her.
So cute.
Ned? Have we
I
lost
forgot
Ned?
I was muted.
Oh, there you go.
Hi, I'm Ned. I live on the internet as at Ned Lazarus Wolf. And I am a comics writer and artist. And I'm playing Tal Erringwell, who is a half-elf druid, who has grown up surrounded by high elves, and is in the city for the first time.
Good boy. Boy.
Good.
Yeah, I know. I'm just nervous.
Why are we nervous?
I don't know. It's because
You want me to burp again?
No.
Hi, I'm Danny. I'm a freelance illustrator. You can find me on Twitter and Tumblr at @Shalane. I am playing Yenna, who is also a foreign exchange student of sorts. She is a little magus who's spent a lot of time being trained by her dad, the monk. And she's here to try to negotiate. Well, she's here to represent her family in some negotiations, more or less.
That's certainly a way to put it.
I didn't want to jump the shark.
Oh, absolutely.
Hi everybody, I'm Dodger. I'm playing on the phone if I sound weird, but I am playing Yule MossBluff, and she's a young investigator who unfortunately has been raised to not really trust anybody or anything for what it seems, for better or for worse. So she's been spending a lot of time with her mom, who has unfortunately facilitated and exacerbated those feelings. And that's where we're going to be coming in with her.
Amazing. And hello, I am Nick. You can find me on the internet as Nick Terhorst or nick.tattoos. I'm a tattoo artist. And I draw my blorblos all the time. That's it. That's all I do. It's great. I am playing Del GoldPetal, who has never done anything wrong in his entire life. And he is an inventor. But just as, like, you know, a hobby. Because he is the heir of the GoldPetal family. And he is in Carnocht because he lives there. He moved out there also for family relations. And yeah, probably to like not embarrass his family further, to be quite honest. That's it. That's all of us.
We did it.
We did it. DM, you're muted.
I'm aware, but like it takes me 10 minutes to get through all of the submenus in my phone to unmute myself. It's wonderful. So now that we've had the introductions from our delightful cast, I am your DM for this evening, this day, this whenever you're watching. You can find me at Doodle on Twitter, or you can find me at Just Taylor Arts on most of the rest of the internet. I do comics and illustrations, and very occasionally I write things, like this game.
Excellent, good.
We open our scene on a Carnocht that is very different from all of the ones that have come before it. The City of Anvils, the city of blacksmiths and merchants, known across all of the lands for its imports and exports of highly crafted armor and weapons. It's a bustling hub sitting just on the coast of its continent, wedged between the arid deserts to the east and the lush farmlands of the elven countries to the west. It is a meeting place for most people, a kingdom of races of all kinds to come and trade and see what Carnocht has to offer. In this timeline, there is no school, no Lyceum, no standing legends of adventurers. There is only a simple school of swordsmanship a couple of less well-known academies that focus mostly on diplomacy, and one single university on the other side of town that does what most universities do and holds a whole lot of books and charges you a lot of money for not a lot of learning. Carnocht itself is bustling and busy. The year is 559. And the morning opens on a very busy house across town, where the steward of said house is overseeing the staff as they wake. This is the GoldPetal house, the towering structure of 4 stories and 2 basement levels that makes up the townhouse that was gifted to young Lord Del GoldPetal as he took on the heirship of his family. And it is busy for a very exciting reason. Very soon, it will have guests. Not just any guests, but a multitude ranging from the family's illustrious head, Lord GoldPetal himself, all the way through to several foreign dignitaries. It's not exactly something that you relish, Del. You've been in Carnocht for 2 years so far, and it's been a nice, quiet life while you've set up the house. It's about to get horribly, horribly interrupted. There is a steady knock on the door, a gentle tap tap, and before you can even answer, your head of household, your manservant, slips through the door with a tray in his hand. And as he sets the tray on the bottom of the bed, he goes to yank open all of the windows so that the early morning sun can flood in. It's time to get up. It's time to get up, and it's time to get out of bed. If I don't get you up now, you're not going to, young master.
But, what if I don't want to? I could be sick, I think. Probably. I think I might be sick. Yeah.
He leans over and puts a hand to the back of your forehead and then draws it back just a little bit to give you a knock as he finds it completely fine. Like, don't try to pull one over on me, not today. Out of bed.
I mean,
You don't get special treatment just because. And he gives you a wink, slipping over to the wardrobe to pull out the suit that he'd set aside last night.
Del kind of like reaches after him, like, no. Don't. Before like sighing very dramatically and over exaggerated and getting up and moping out of bed to start putting on his stupid suit to go and see his stupid dad.
Eat your breakfast. You're not going to have any time to get anything later on today, especially not since you'll be entertaining guests from, an hour from now?
Oh, God. Can't they just come tomorrow?
Oh, yes, I shall send out a bird immediately to tell the incoming boat that it needs to slow down and not arrive. Yes, I'll do that. Mm-hmm.
They'll
A
just
shirt gets thrown at your head.
I was gonna say, Del pouts and starts getting dressed and half-heartedly eating food in between, like, putting clothes on.
Can they come tomorrow? I shall just go out and I shall stop every single carriage myself. I'll lay down in front of it. Honestly.
You can get someone else to do that.
Oh, shall I go down and get some volunteers from the staff?
Del nods.
Okay, well, give me 2 seconds. He walks over to the door, puts his head out, and in a very like loud tone is like, "Any volunteers to maybe go and lie down in front of some carriages?"
Okay.
No?
I'm up. Look, see, I'm up. I'm dressed. I'm up. I ate something, probably. It's like half put together.
Yeah. Your manservant Belial comes over and he fixes the buttons on your waistcoat and pins all of your adornments on. I know that this isn't exactly something that you want to spend time doing. Honestly, I would much rather be doing anything else too. But this is what we have to do. Otherwise,
And I think Del will just lean in and give him a quick kiss and say, I know.
with a soft sigh, he kind of settles his forehead to yours and takes just too long a second to just breathe in the moment. We have to go down very soon, otherwise you're going to be the talk of the town again. Oh, the maid needs a raise. She's demanding it, otherwise she's going to tell you, tell the town that she saw us leave last night.
That's fine. We'll figure it out.
Okay, I love you. I will not see you very often today.
I love you too. This is... Alright. Let's do this.
Alright. Your visitor sheet, my lord. And he puts a note down on the bottom of the bed and just gives you a tiny little salute and runs out the door, heading towards the servant staircase, where you hear him clap a couple of times and just, all right, everybody to stations.
Ugh. He definitely, like, waits a little too long looking at a list that is a lot too long for him to actually retain any of the information on it. And yeah, I guess just, gets ready to head downstairs.
The moment that you head downstairs, you see a multitude of people are already waiting in the foyer. Not nobles, not yet, not for a little while, but they are definitely servants of other houses who are all gathered in the foyer holding little invites and envelopes and letters. Some have come bearing gifts and presents, and they are all kind of chattering nervously with some of your staff, who immediately jump to attention as they see you come downstairs.
I feel like Del goes to, like, wave off the attention, like, the come to attention, and then realizes, like, wait, no, they probably actually have to do that today.
The head maid, the one that Belial has said needs a raise,
Yeah.
comes to stand in front of you, and she curtsies quite low. Young lord, you have received several missives from other houses in the area, and some delegations sent by several ambassadors who would like to have a moment of your time before your meetings today.
Before.
Before?
Can I, like, roll for protocol? Because
Yeah,
Del might know things. I don't.
Roll for protocol.
Okay. Perhaps a society roll, if that would please you.
I think it would. Me quickly scanning through all of the skills that you guys have got. Yeah, society or diplomacy are two of the roles that I'll accept.
Surprisingly, his society is higher than his diplomacy. So that'll be a 31.
Oof.
Or sorry,
Okay.
a 21, a 21. My addition's bad. Don't mind me.
I was about to say we're already getting into 30 rolls. Oh god.
I thought I rolled a higher number than I did. We're good.
Welcome to Pathfinder, people, where the numbers are high and the whammies are low. All right, with a 21, you know that it would be incredibly rude to send away most of these delegations and most of these servants. You also, however, know that you only have under an hour before your first
Yeah.
meeting with the day. You also know that since you were part of the planning on this, Belial has filled your schedule like end to end with people that you can bear. These are gifts and presents and notes from the people you can't.
Okay, perfect. So I think he'll just look at the head maid and be like, I would love for you to thank them for their time, collect the missives and cards and names, and politely let them know that my guests will be arriving soon, and I very unfortunately am not gonna have time for this. And I will see that you are. And he kind of like pauses and like gives her a look like handsomely rewarded for your efforts.
Her expression immediately becomes way more interested in actually getting this done for you. However, one of the stewards behind her, who is from a neighboring house, steps forward and is like, young lord, I do beg your forgiveness, but I've been told not to return until I have a written answer from you, sir.
Sure. And Dell will literally like reach to find like some kind of. I would say he probably still carries a notebook, that kind of thing, and just writes down a very flowery like, "I'll see you later." Like DG, and hands it to the steward. And I'm sure that will be all.
Absolutely, sir. And kind of weakly gives his letter to the maid, who looks very satisfied at this turn of events. You know for a fact that your servants and this house's servants, the name of which is Peregru, have been at war since you moved in because they keep complaining about the noise that your servants make.
Which is stupid because it's my house. I can make the noise that I want to. He's great. He's good at being a noble. Don't worry about it. Cool.
Do you accept anything else personally, or pick anybody out of the crowd? Or are you just going to go straight ahead?
Not unless someone demands it, I think. He's already freaking out that he's only got an hour before everyone gets here. He's gonna just like try his best to get himself from point A to point wherever I'm supposed to be sitting down and people are supposed to be coming to me. As like, you know, well as he can.
The maid kind of starts trying to usher you into the parlor.
Perfect.
In a very subtle and polite way, but as she shuts the door on you,
yeah,
you hear her go, "All right, you lot, get in line."
Yeah, and he's just be like, thank you, I don't want to be out there."
The room that you find yourself in is already full of boxes and gifts and little notes and letters, as well as some very fine luggage that seems to have been sent from the guests that you will be receiving later on today.
Hmm.
And sat amongst all of that is a very familiar figure. One that you have known for all of your life. You find yourself faced with your older doppelganger, Kalhir GoldPetal. Is dressed as finely as he can manage, and is doing you the favor of sorting through some notes.
No.
And as you watch, he's kind of like, no, no, oh, absolutely not. No, I don't want to associate with them. And he's putting them into piles of who you want to associate with and who you don't want to associate with.
Del just goes in and gives him a big hug.
He tightens an arm around you and kind of gives you a pat on the back. Like, I realize that this is rather the big day, but I was not expecting it to be as busy as it is.
Yeah, I don't really know why it has to be. I'm not like actually getting married. They know that, right? Like, I mean, technically, but like, no. Like, aren't we supposed to make a big to-do about this, like, a different time?
My brother, my dearest brother. He turns and puts both hands on your shoulders. Now, you are tasked with marrying into one of the most powerful families on the eastern side of the seas.
No. I understand that, and I understand that we have signed the paperwork and everything, but like, it's done, and like, there's not like a big ceremony. She's just coming.
Exactly. This is their only chance to vie for her attention. This isn't for you. And he motions to all of the gifts.
Thank God. He just like looks at them like, I'm not going to open those anyway.
They're for her and her entourage. And quite honestly, a lot of them will leave this house the very same day she gets here. They'll be sent back to her family's holdings, I would imagine.
Well, that's reassuring. But are you...
Now, I'm fine. I've sorted this pile into people whose favors you do want to accept, and he pushes a small pile of paper towards you. And this pile should be burnt immediately. You don't want to associate with them. I know all of their dirty history. You absolutely do not want to associate with these people if you wish to maintain your good name.
Before Cal's even done talking, like, Del's already throwing things into the fireplace. Like, he literally doesn't care to even look at them.
Good man, good man. I assume Belial has the house in order.
I also assume he has the house in order. Are you gonna, like... I think Father's set to arrive soon.
He's set to arrive at 12 o'clock sharp. I've got a little while.
Okay.
I wanted to come by and pay my own regards. It's going to be difficult for you for the, well, foreseeable future, I would imagine.
Probably. Just like far off stare. For a moment.
I never would have wanted this life for you, Dan.
I mean, it was this or stay at the house and probably also be kicked out, I guess. So this is... It is what it is. we make do.
He reaches out and kind of pulls you into a proper hug this time.
Oh. He hugged back.
You've got my sending stone. You can call me whenever you need me.
Okay.
For what it's worth, I think that Belial is right. You'll get on with her. You might even become friends.
I mean,
But,
I hope so.
but just know, regardless of what happens, I am only ever a call away.
Yeah. Got it.
If you need to disappear, if you need, I don't know, someone dealing with, I know all of the best parts of the city to dump a body.
Now, see, as much as I appreciate the offer, already rolling it back. I'll keep it in mind. Take it under advisement. You know, whatever I'm supposed to say to that.
I'll be making myself scarce for a little while. But I'm sorry, I told myself that I wouldn't stumble, and yet, and he looks visibly emotional.
Dell's like, doesn't know what to do. Also looks emotional. It's like, if you cry, I'll cry. You can't do it. You can't do that.
Roll a fucking persuasion check.
Oh god, oh god.
We don't have persuasion checks anymore, oh god.
Nope. Diplomacy, perhaps?
Yeah, sure, go for it.
It's a 21.
He just takes a really deep breath and you see him like putting himself back together. Hands
It's
on
just
his hips and just taking a step backwards, shaking his head.
no, it's
I
good.
can make anyone disappear. Everything is fine. If you need me, call me.
I will. I'll call you. I've got Belial. He's got the house in order. We're good. This is good. This will be fine. It's gonna be. What could they do? What could they do now?
With the amount of money the GoldPetal stand to make out of all of this, not a goddamn thing. And he pats you on the cheek.
Yeah. See, that's what I'm banking on.
I'll go make myself scarce. You should set up. Your first delegate this morning, from what I hear, is well, someone you should get acquainted with. And he's going to duck around you and out into the hall, where you can hear, as he opens the door, your maid is still corralling other people's stewards.
Good. Get them out of here.
And corrals Cal immediately, who comes back in with arms full of like present boxes. So much for a speedy exit, and he puts them down and then leaves again.
Good. He's got big arms, you know? Good for carrying.
Noelani, you
Yeah.
find yourself in the grand foyer of a house. Two figures at your side, a fox and a cat, sitting very patiently at your ankle. You're incarnate for a multitude of reasons, but unfortunately this is one diplomatic stop that those who sent you refuse to ignore. In front of you is a very well-dressed steward with white gloves and dark suit. who's got a list out in front of them. Name, please.
Um, should be under Menderes, and Noelani, and she'll give him a big smile.
I'm afraid that we don't have you down on our guest list. Were you a last-minute addition?
Um, well, my mother was supposed to come, so maybe there was just a switch. You know, she just had some prior
Oh yes,
arrangements.
we do have a yes, we do have it. Indeed. I do believe the young lord is just finishing with a prior meeting. Give me but one moment. What title would you like to be announced with?
Oh, I don't really have one. Um, you could say, Noelani from House of Menderes. You can just leave it at that. That should be good enough, I think. And she'll like sort of like
The,
look down at her companions, like, right? I think it should be good.
the cat buries its face in its paws, while the fox just looks at you. And if a fox could shrug, it would shrug.
Great.
Indeed. Noelani of House Menderes. Bear with me but one moment. And with a very crisp heel step, toe step, heel step, toe step, goes over to a door and opens it very, very slightly, just to peek inside, and then opens it fully. It's like, my young lord, I would like to present Lady Noelani of House Menderes. And sweeps aside a hand. And Dell, you find yourself faced with a genasi with blue skin and dark markings. And Noelani and Dell, you meet for the first time across the threshold of this door.
I'm just sitting here like, cute. Like, no thought, head empty, just cute.
And you know, Noelani does that thing where she like peeks into the doorway before she steps in, and she's like, "Oh, I think that's my cue," and sort of like moves in, and you can see that very clearly she must have been used to a different kind of curtsying, because this one seems practiced to sort of meet what an elven sort of like down curtsy might have been appropriate for her to sort of display. And she's like, thank you for receiving me, your lordship. Yeah. Hi. Hi.
As you finish speaking, Noelani, the cat and the fox kind of wind their way from either side of you to go and stand in each corner of the room, looking at Dell.
Who is looking right back at them like, whoa. Like, very sees Noelani and is like, oh wow, okay, cool. And then like sees the like the animals get into like their corners, just like feeling a little less cool. Okay. And he'll give a bit of a bow back as well.
And she'll would she catch Dell sort of do like eyeing the animals?
Probably. Like, he's pretty practiced, but I think that would take him pretty off guard.
And I think at that she'll sort of like she'll bring her hands sort of like to the front. It's like, don't mind them. They're just keeping me company. It's not appropriate for a lady to come to the city alone. At least that's what I hear. Um,
The fox makes a small choking sound and just looks at you appalled.
but they're good. They're nice. They're nice. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I mean, as long as they're nice. Noelani. Yes?
Yes. Yes.
It is, it's a pleasure to meet you. I'm not gonna lie, this is my first meeting of the day, and I was gonna ask to, what do I owe the pleasure, and I'm pretty sure I know why you're here, so that's kind of a moot point. So hi,
Hi.
I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. I figured we should just get it. I'm more of an early riser myself, so I just figured it was probably better just to get it over with, and not as in like, get it done with. Just, I just figured if under the circumstances we could, get things started, so we wouldn't be caught too off guard. That right? That makes sense.
Caught off guard. Caught off guard for what?
Just, you know, first time meetings, or, strange relations. I know my mom was supposed to sort of be the representative. This is kind of like my first time doing one of these tours. So,
Okay.
I
Okay.
just
You know what? And Dell's gonna like motion for her to like sit down, like he's also sitting, but like sit kind of thing. He's like, no, like this is fine. This is great, actually. This is my first time receiving this kind of thing. Menderes, the Feywild delegate.
yeah,
Correct?
and she'll like take a seat. She's like, "Yeah, I know it's kind of weird when we do these visits. I know. I mean, I'm usually, like I said, I'm usually kind of behind mom, and she's got like way more presence than me. But we don't have to make it awkward. I know it's like a whole thing with Fey diplomats, and and she'll like lean in, like the animals are not gonna hear her, even though they will. They're kind of like pomp and circumstance, and I feel like those things are alive, but right, we don't have to make it weird, right?
Yeah, no, I agree. And honestly, it's not it's this whole day is going to be really weird to for me, to be very fair. He's definitely kind of a little too comfortable, a little too like, okay, this is probably fine. Yeah, so are you enjoying the city, or it's just like make small talk? He's like really not
Yeah.
really not like interested in political things.
Noelani, as Bella's floundering for like small talk to make,
Mhm.
the cat that you travelled with is just like, the gift, give him the gift. I mean, meow.
The city's great. Oh, and we picked this up. Where did I put it? And she'll look on her like sash, and she'll pull out a gift. She's like, these are custom. I should have started with this. I'm so sorry. Like I said, a little nervous. Just first time. And here, and she'll present a. Am I choosing the gift? Damn.
It's just a small box. It's just, you don't know what's in it.
Okay, great. It's a
Oh.
small box. Wow, Del. Lucky you.
Wow.
See, Dell is
Yeah,
actually just a cat, and boxes are just Dell's thing.
Yeah. He just likes boxes. Just a nice box,
Yeah. So she'll sort of present it, sort of like palms open. It's like, um, it city's been great. And here, and she'll sort of bow her head while she presents the box.
I mean, Del takes it, and I think is like kind of looking at the cat, like, did that cat just talk? But like refuses to say anything about it because he doesn't want to make things weird. Because we've just talked about how we don't need to make things weird. And DM, would manners dictate that I would open this now and receive it, or put it
Roll
aside for later? So I'm gonna let you know that I rolled a 15, but I'm also gonna let you know that I rolled a 2. If you need to decide how this is gonna go in any other way.
It's usually polite to open a gift when you receive it, right?
I mean, yeah, he's gonna do it. He's gonna peek in it like maybe he shouldn't, but he's gonna do it anyway.
There's a soft red glow inside the box.
Okay, he's not peeking anymore, he's opening the box. Too intriguing.
Inside the box is a pocket watch.
Oh. That's lovely.
It has a red crystal set in the front, which is what's giving off the glow. And on the back is space for something to be added to it, such as another crystal.
Interesting. Yeah. I think I'll look at it. If I open it up, is there anything like interesting about the inside?
That depends. What kind of things are you looking for interesting?
Well, I don't know. Like, I'm sure I have a few pocket watches. Like, is there anything that would kind of stand out other than the detailing on the outside? Is time different? Is time the same?
That is a very good question. Would that? I'm trying to decide what kind of role that would be because there's not really an investigation check.
I could offer crafting as a person who makes things.
I was gonna say you can either roll crafting or occultism, depending what you're looking for. If you are looking for inscriptions or quality of the workmanship, roll crafting. If you are looking for anything particularly magical or strange about it, roll occultism.
Since my visitor is from the Feywild, I may roll occultism. Ooh, okay, now I actually rolled a 31.
Nice.
It's real this time, it's real. Oh, we haven't been writing down our rolls. I'll do that now.
With a 31, you notice that there are several runic inscriptions around the outside, and while you can't read the runes, you get the impression that they are specifically attached to the magic that makes this run. And whilst it is a very finely crafted item, it is mostly magical in its workings, as opposed to mechanical. It contains a strange amount of teleportation magic.
He is both interested and deeply suspicious of this thing.
You can still roll. Actually, no. With the occultism roll that you rolled, you would probably see this anyway. There is an inscription on the back of it that calls it the Klein Chronometer.
Don't fucking do this to me. Okay. That means nothing to Del and everything to Nick. He will very honestly probably like kind of shove it in his pocket, or in a way of like probably wear it if he is not already wearing a pocket watch. Or honestly, even if he is, what's one more chain? And give Noelani like a very deep bow. Or, you know, as deep as is appropriate for his standing. And
Roll society for me a little bit.
fuck you, roll society. He's good at this. 24.
Noelani, he definitely bowed a little too low to you.
Okay. Yeah.
That's fine. He's like that. And he will say, "It was a pleasure to meet you, Noelani, of House Menderes. Thank you very much for such a thoughtful gift."
Of course, it's my pleasure, our pleasure. And I hear congratulations are in order, so I hope we'll meet again. And thank you again for your time.
Thank you. I hope so too.
And it'll be like that awkward moment. It's like, I think I stand now, and like,
Yeah, he'll
again, like
he'll
very
kind of stand
practiced.
with you and be like, I probably shouldn't lead you out. You should probably just go. Like that kind of awkward.
Yeah.
The fox just kind of huffs as though both of you are unsavable.
We are truly. I assume there is like one of my is the head maid wouldn't still be in here, but is like one of my people in here? Or is it just me?
The moment that you start saying, maybe I should go, and like standing up,
Yeah.
The steward who is charged with this sort of thing has been listening at the door for the sign of exit, and just very quietly opens the door and makes a motion as though to follow.
Yeah. And I think Del like very casually and very like politely like keep his distance as Noelani leaves, and then the instant that like the door is starting to close, like hustles over and it's like, I opened it. Should I open it? I'm not supposed to open it, am I? to the steward at the door. Like really quietly.
The steward makes a slight twitch and is like, no, you really should have just given it to one of us.
Yeah, but like, what if it's really cool? I wouldn't know if it was really cool if I didn't open it.
Young Master GoldPetal, please.
Okay. I'll put them up to the side. Anyway, it's fine. How do I thank them for something if I don't even know what it is? I'm gonna go sit down. Just let's send them the next person. It's fine. And he goes and sits down.
Across town, in a much poorer part of Carnocht, Yule, sorry. This is going to be the name that gets me. Yule.
Yep.
You've been staying in this inn for the past week, which is the longest that you've stayed anywhere for about a month. However, your mom hasn't been back for the past 2 days. It's quite clear that the both of you have moved in to this inn room, particularly by the sheer amount of papers pinned to the wall and the little pieces of red twine going from one to another, and all of the sketchings and notes and ciphers that she's left scattered around. 2 days ago, she told you she just had to get a book from the library. This isn't rare for your mom to just up and disappear like this on a tricky little tale and a whim. Usually, though, she does come back in like a day and a half.
Do I know? I assume I know why we are staying at this particular inn or what we came here to do?
That's just it. Of all of the things that make you think that something here is not right, is that your mum has been very cagey since you arrived in Carnocht as about why you are here. There have been a lot of maps of the city, a lot of areas marked. She's been specifically talking about parties that are happening, paying an awful lot of attention to the nobility. This isn't really, again, a rare thing for your mum.
Mm,
She likes to pay attention to the higher ups, considering she is fairly sure that there is something going on with the government.
of course, yeah.
But she has been giving you a lot of speeches since you got here. Now, she likes the sound of her own voice, and speeches really are her thing when she gets going. But the speeches that she's been making to you lately are about revolution and freeing the people, and it is time to step into her destiny and your destiny and uncovering the truth. It is reasonable to say that you've been having a strange feeling about all of this.
Mm.
You think she's planning something, but you're not 100% sure what. That being said, she hasn't made any efforts to hide the papers or her journals, all of which are written in ciphers.
I think if I already was kind of concerned about why we're there and what's going on, probably the second she was like, bye, I'm going to go find a book, Yule would have started trying to decipher some of her journal, knowing full well that even if she got caught, her mom would like respect her for it.
Okay. What? You've got custom law that you can roll
I
for.
do.
What are your custom law?
My custom lores are I have conspiracies, occultism, and cryptids.
Please roll for conspiracy.
Okay.
This is going to be the roll that we use for ciphers as well, just in general.
Okay. Okie doke. Sorry, I'm having to do math. Okay. $33.
Okay, with a 33, you've made it a decent amount of the way through the most recent journal. The cipher has been annoying, to say the very least, partly in that it's been so easy to figure out. You'd have thought that your mum would have taken more care with something that is so sensitive.
Right.
There are
I'm like
pages,
starting to wonder if it's a decoy.
there are pages upon pages written ranting about the GoldPetal family and their connection to a time dilation effect in Carnocht.
That definitely gets Yuli's attention. Okay.
Your mom believes that someone high up in the aristocracy, and there are several families listed, the GoldPetals are just one of them, but she has circled them several times as the most likely. But she believes that somebody in the high aristocracy is using some sort of time teleportation to make money. And that someone else has stolen it and is now going and changing the timeline however they would like to change it.
Does my mom describe what this thing looks like? Does she seem to have any idea what it is, or does she describe how she got this information?
The information cited for the changes in timeline are all a lot of anecdotal evidence, shall we say, from people who remember things being different. The Mandela effect, essentially.
Mm.
There are some people who are like, I was sure that there was a magic school in Carnocht, but no, we've only got a university. And then there
Okay.
are other things that are like, I'm sure that this, very well-known playwright was actually named Pierre Shakes and not Pierre Sucks. I don't know, that kind of thing.
Yep. Yep. Crushed it. Okay. Yeah.
And then there's a very well-known painting. The- Sorry, I'm getting absolutely torn to shreds on our Discord at the moment. There's a very popular painting where some people are like, no, that painting, like, it's always been frowny. And some people are like, no, it used to be smiling. And then there's one that she's got circled several times and is like, this can't be right, can it? Where it's just like, stairs to the castle, 99 on the way up, 98 on the way down.
Yeah, that sounds right. I think, yeah, Yule's been around her mom enough to know that, like, she's the sort of person who takes things, like, a little too far. And Yuli spent enough time away from her to be doing her best to, like, stay grounded if something seems, like, too out there. But this time dilation thing is really interesting to her. I want to try to use a Pathfinder thing. Are you guys ready?
Oh no, I'm not ready. Let's go for it. Let's try this out.
Oh
Okay.
shit.
I would like for this time dilation item to be a lead that I pursue. I would like to use my pursue a lead as an investigator. I spend a minute examining details of a potential clue. I don't need to know the identity, purpose, or nature of it. I just need to know that it exists.
Mm-hmm.
When you attempt a perception or skill check to investigate that subject, I gain +1 circumstance bonus to the check. I have no idea what that means. The checks this applies to depends on the actions you use to investigate and are determined by the GM. So I'm basically saying, like, this is, yeah, so I'm basically saying, like, this is my current investigation is into this thing.
Absolutely.
And I can have two at the same time. So if we wanted to say I have another one, it would be where the fuck is my mom? So those are my two. Those are my two
all right.
current investigations. Okay. If there seems to be a lot of information about the GoldPetals, I assume we've been here for long enough. You'll spend enough time on her own that she probably has a good idea of everything that is in this area. She would know that the GoldPetals are nearby, correct?
Yes, you would know that Del GoldPetal has taken up residence in the city. It is not a secret, and Del is often seen around town, particularly with several stewards in tow. Your mother also has very helpfully pinned in cited sources in her journals. So there's a lot of, like, gossip magazine cutouts about Del.
Okay.
She's, like, selected several of them and highlighted them and is like, an affair with his manservant? Question mark, question mark, question mark. And then there's another one that is just like, is Del GoldPetal an alien?
Sorry, I was taking a drink of wine right when you said that. That was perfect timing.
I'm so sorry to do that to you.
No, it was perfect. Okay. Okay. My last question would be, do I know what book my mom was trying to get? Did she say, or was she just like, I'm getting a book, don't ask questions?
She
Bye.
didn't mention what book at all.
Okay.
But if you want to try and indeed continue sleuthing, how do we do this? I don't know.
I have no idea. Yeah. I mean, we've established in the scene that there's just stuff everywhere, right?
Yeah, there.
So I guess, okay, hold on. Let me look at my sheet here.
If you want to roll perception with that +1,
Sure. Yeah. Okay.
I think
So that's just the general perception number, right? There isn't like passive perception. It's just your perception number, correct?
Yeah, it's just your perception number.
Okay.
I think so.
Okie doke. Come to me, my roller.
We're doing amazing, sweeties.
Thanks, bud.
I feel like I've never played a TTRPG in my life.
Not even one time.
Okay, 22. Not great.
Okay, all right.
With +1, so 23.
Yeah. So with the 23, you unfortunately don't find much that alludes to where your mom might have gone. But you
Okay.
do find a couple more instances of like this time dilation effect. And specifically one mentioning an instance around the library where people keep seeing this like white-haired man who will just suddenly appear and disappear.
Okay. I think Yule would go to the library first then.
Okay. Roll survival for me. You've not been in
Okay.
Carnocht much.
True.
Like, you've been there for a week, but you've not been there much more than outside of that week. So
Okay. Plus 14. 25.
okay. With a 25, you end up walking through the streets of Carnocht for a good long while and get turned around a couple of times. The confusing part that you very quickly find out is that Carnocht actually has 3 libraries, none of which are open to the public. And unfortunately, the lead that you found doesn't state which one it is.
Okay.
Would you like to continue attempting to pursue this lead?
You know what? Not to be difficult, but yeah, she's an investigator. I think she'd just check all of them.
All right, cool. I would like you to roll a. I was like, is D6 the thing? And I'm like, that's just some normal dice. Yes, roll a D6 for me, please.
Okay. A 4.
A 4? All right. You go to the
Yep.
smallest first, which is a library of records, quite close to Cat Alley, actually, which is one of the reasons that it's also a not very well visited library. And when you get there, you firstly find that it's closed, and secondly, find that there is indeed a white-haired man sitting on the steps.
What? I would stay back and observe him and try not to be spotted.
He is quite casually just leaning against the steps, petting a ginger cat that is curled up in his lap.
Okay. I'd write down everything, anything that I can like think of to write down about him, just to like keep track.
How long would you like to watch him for? And can you please roll stealth?
Yes,
I know that's still a roll.
it is. Okay, let's see. Okay, a 33.
Nice. Okay, so you maintain your distance watching this man, and he shows absolutely no sign of having noticed you. How long would you like to watch him for?
Bro, I got nowhere else to be. I'll just sit there until I fall asleep, I guess. Until-
All right. You are sat there for like a good hour before anything even vaguely interesting happens. But as you watch, the cat jumps off this man's lap, and you hear the sound of a little bell as it runs down the rest of the steps and off into the distance. And the man just seems to fade away.
Okay.
Not the sudden vanishing of an invisibility spell, but just a fading from existence.
Gosh, I'm not really a magic kid in this loop. Would I have any concept of what happened there? Could I make
Roll
any sort of a
occultism.
guess?
You can either roll occultism or roll cryptid.
Higher, let's see. They're the same. So we'll say I'm rolling occultism.
Okay.
Oof, an 18.
All right. With an 18, the only things that kind of come to your mind is some sort of invisibility spell. You really can't rationally explain it any other way.
Okay. I'll continue to write in a cipher in my notes, but if someone were to translate it, they'd be like, God, she really was raised by the same person. Like it's like invisibility? Question mark, question mark, question mark. Okay. I'd feel reasonably sure that this was the right library then if I saw this person. Um so I think after the disappearing act, even though this place is closed, I'd probably see if I could safely pick the lock to get
Yeah,
in.
go for it. The door to the library is actually quite funny because it's almost as big as the library itself, considering how small this building is. It is securely locked. Give me a
Should I roll
thievery roll.
thievery? Okay.
Yeah, seemed a little on the nose there, Paizo.
27.
Okay, all right. With a 27, it takes some jimmying and some finessing, some finagling. But you manage to get the door open, and it swings open on quite squeaky hinges with a little.
Let's see if I can
Dark
find
inside.
any trace of my mom.
The main entryway is completely dark, but there are two doors off to the side of it that the main library appears to be through. And through the right-hand window, you can see the soft glow of a lamp.
Okay. Do I think anybody's in there?
I don't know. Do you think anybody's in there?
I don't know. How do I check?
You go look if you want to go look.
Okay, fantastic. I go look.
I mean, you can roll a perception if you want to try and like hear anything.
I don't want to like come all this way and then get caught, you know. So sure, I'll roll perception first.
All right. Roll perception and then give me another stealth roll after.
Do I still get my pursuing a lead bonus since I'm looking for my mom?
You do, yes.
Okay, a
Only on
24.
perception. Okay. With a 24, it's definitely the flickering of a small lamp and not one of the larger lights of the library. You can also see the shadows on the wall seem very much like two people sitting across from each other at a table.
Okay. So I'd have to open this door in order to get closer, correct?
Yes, which is why you would need to roll stuff.
Okay, I'm going for it.
Go, 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 go.
Okay.
That's always a good noise to hear.
I'm trying to do math. Wait, I can. Oh my God. Wait, I've been using this all wrong, dude. Okay, 30. Sorry. With a +1, it's a no +1 because this is stealth. 33.
33.
Yeah, I've been rolling lots of 19s, which is pretty tight.
Kind of nice, yeah. All right. With a 33, you can get the door open, and you don't seem to have been noticed by whoever is at this table. And you open it enough that you can kind of peek through.
Okay. I wanna listen in more than anything.
Okay. Well, the moment that you open the door, you're not just seeing the flicker of the lamp through the glass of it. You can quite clearly hear voices. They are a little bit muffled, but there's a voice that is distinctly that of your mom's, and the voice of a man, you think, that she's talking to.
Okay.
If you want to hear
But
the
there,
words, you would have to get a bit closer.
I would like to do that. Do I need to roll stealth
Okay,
again?
you do indeed. Please, please.
Okay. A 25.
All right. With a 25, you manage to get through the door okay, and you get a step and two steps, and you didn't realize that this was an automatically closing door.
Shit.
And it kind of just goes behind you, and the voices stop immediately. The two figures at the table stand up, and one of them grabs the lamp. And it's like, "Who's that?" Yuli. Sorry, Yule. I'm constantly going to forget that. I'm sorry. I'll
It's
hammer it into my
totally
head.
fine.
Yule,
Hi.
what are you doing here? I didn't think that you would
What
follow
am I
me.
doing here? You've been missing for so long and you didn't tell me anything.
Oh, it's just been gone a couple of hours. It's absolutely fine.
You've been gone for days.
I haven't been gone for days.
You have.
I haven't.
Look, I'm sorry.
It must be that
I
time
didn't.
dilation effect. I told you that it was a problem here. Look, I have, and you see that she's having trouble trying to make up her mind on whether or not to do something. But the other figure at the table just kind of clears their throat with a little. And speaking of white-haired men, this is another white-haired man,
Okay.
dressed in a very fine business suit, and with quite pointed features. And he extends a hand to you and goes, "You, I've heard so much about you. It's a pleasure to finally meet.
She
You can call
will
me
look.
Abby."
She'll look to her mom before shaking the hand, like needing a nod.
Your mom makes a very rapid nodding motion and just kind of a little scoop motion with her hand.
Okay. You will shake his hand then.
"It's lovely to meet you. Your mother has said so many good things." And he takes your hand in both of his. He's like, "What a fine and upstanding young person you seem to be."
Uh, thank you. Can I ask what is going on here? My mom's been gone for a couple of days now. It was concern. Has she been with you this whole time?
Well, yes, we've been researching. And you see, he steps back and just motions to the table that they were both at. It is covered in maps and books and handwritten notes.
Oh,
And in the
she's
middle of the
immediately in.
table is a device.
What is
Your
that?
mom lays a gentle hand on your shoulder and is like, that is what's going to unravel all of this. Do you recognize it?
Do I recognize it?
That is a very good question. Roll crafting or occultism, please.
Crafting or occultism?
Mhm.
Interesting.
Or conspiracy. You can roll conspiracy on anything.
Okay.
And if you fail a roll, you can always choose to roll conspiracy.
I love that. A 24. 24 for occultism.
Okay. It is clearly some kind of device, and it is clearly magical because it's glowing. Magical things glow. That's just what they do.
Sure.
It is kind of difficult to tell what magic it is, though. But you do know that it's making this wonderful little whirring noise. So there's definitely some kind of motion magic on it. You don't 100% know what the machine is, though.
Should I? It doesn't look familiar to me.
It doesn't look. Oh, I need to make sure to teach you a couple of things. This is a time weaver, and she picks it up and kind of holds it aloft. And Abby, the man that has just introduced himself, is like, "Careful, careful! You don't want to drop that." And your mom kind of holds it out to you.
I'm sorry. Are you two messing with time in a library?
No, absolutely not. They're both talking at the same time.
Yule files that.
I told you that I had a source in Carnocht, didn't I? Well, this is them. And your mom motions towards Abby. This
Okay.
time weaver, it's inert right now. I mean, I know it's glowing, but it's not working. And Abby steps
Try to figure
forward.
out why.
Precisely. We are trying to figure out why it's not working and what it's doing. Because there are several of these around town. I've seen them
Around
myself.
this town specifically? Why?
Well, that's the question, isn't it? You've seen some of your mother's research. What do you think?
Yeah. What do I think?
You can roll conspiracy.
Yeah, I think I want to roll to see like what sort of conclusion I would come to, I guess. Oh my god, a nat 20, so 34.
34. Okay,
Yeah.
nice. With a 34, if they're messing around with time and there are like little time things all over this town, obviously somebody means to displace Karnak out of time.
My first thought would be that they've been brought here for a reason, right? Somebody's trying to do something to this town specifically having to do with time,
Exactly.
either stop time here or displace it, or do you know
Make time
who's been doing
zombies.
that? Mom,
We've got our
who's
theory.
Okay. Look, I'm already here. I broke in. You're already telling me stuff. So who do you think is doing this?
They lean over and they move a couple pieces of paper, and they show you the ledger that marks the members of the Senate of Carnocht. And your mom points out, you see right there? There's an empty seat right there. That seat has only been empty for the last 2 weeks. And all of the things that we have noticed going on in this city started when GoldPetal got here. Abby kind of leans over just a little bit and starts pointing out the multiple deaths that have happened in the 2 years, and like how the Senate has been changed around, and several families like marrying into several other families, and how the money's been moved around. And he's like, you should always follow the money, and it all leads back to the GoldPetals.
But I looked through the sort of things that Mom has on Dell. He doesn't seem to. I don't know. Nothing seemed particularly nefarious.
And that's
aside
why
from that stuff about him being an alien. But
you see Abby just kind of nods as though that makes an awful lot of sense.
yes, of course, because he is an alien.
And your mom is like, look, he's very hiding in plain sight. And just because somebody is nice, Yule, doesn't mean that they aren't doing nefarious things. That sweet, sweet face hides an evil, evil heart. But we have a plan.
Okay.
We have
What's the
a
plan?
plan.
Okay. I ask again, what's the plan?
Abby kind of sits on the corner of the table and looks at you, Yule. The GoldPetal estate is throwing a soiree to celebrate the marriage between GoldPetal and Yenna Mun. We're going to crash it. Or, well, more rightly, I can't be seen at such event, but, and your mom kind of takes up the thread, but I can, and so can you. We're going party crashing, and we're going to find out whatever we can while all those hoity-toity Ponzi, while they're distracted, we'll look around the house and find what we can.
Yule smiles a little. Sure, that seems like my speed. I can do that.
Great. I have some plans of the house that I managed to swipe from the planning office, and she lays them all down on the table. And
I will never understand how you get this stuff. Okay.
It's just a smile and a wink to the right person.
She'll look at Abby. Why exactly can you not be seen there?
Oh, well, I was run out of the Carnocht elite some years ago, which is how I know you should always follow the money in this town. I can't have my face seen here, or it'll cause a stir, and the last thing I want is to put your mother's life at risk.
I see. Okay. I think Yule would remember that, have plans to like try and look this person up later. But for now, if her mom is showing her like plans for the place, she would be just trying to sort of memorize the blueprints of the estate or wherever it is they're going to be.
Okay. I would like you to just roll perception. And if you succeed on this perception check, you'll get a +1 to any survival rolls that you may need to make in the GoldPetal residence.
I don't think I got it. I got a 19.
Oh, 19s are bad in this game, guys.
I know.
Yeah, unfortunately not. You managed to retain the basic layout of the house, but as for the side rooms and the more interesting areas, um, that's just not going to stick, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's fine. She does her best. She's distracted.
Now we just have to decide how we want to get in. Do we want to go in the servants' entrance, or do we want to walk through the front door? And she makes like a pose of what she thinks a noble lady might look like.
I think servant's entrance would be best. I think we'll blend in best that way.
Really, I thought I'd look quite good in gems.
Uh,
And she
I'm
gives
sure
you a
you
little.
would, Mom.
All right. Well, I'm sure I can scrounge us up some servants' outfits. You and Abby should get acquainted. And she kind of nudges you towards Abby.
Oh, I mean, okay.
Abby kind of looks at you and smiles beatifically.
Yuli does like one of those sort of awkward smiles and then looks around at the table that's just covered in stuff and takes a big sigh and goes, wow, well, you guys have certainly been working hard.
Oh, your mother is so very dedicated.
Yes, she is. How did you meet her exactly?
Oh, we go back a little while. Just a few years ago, we ran into each other when your mother was investigating. Oh, gosh, what did she say it was? The tiger. Oh, goodness. The tiger with three heads? Do you remember that one?
Oh, yes. It was, I mean, well, she still thinks, right. Yes, I know what you're talking about. Were you interested in the tiger with three heads?
Oh no, I was trying to track down a rather well-known villain at the time. You see, once I left Carnocht, I've been doing my due duty as something of a bounty hunter.
Oh, interesting. How is that going for you?
I could be going better. Could be going
Bounty
worse.
hunting is a hard job.
That it is, indeed. You kind of just descend into an awkward little silence.
Yeah. I think Yule would sort of on purpose at first, but then just genuinely be sort of roped into reading and looking through the sorts of things that they've collected. Just to try and get a better idea of exactly what's going on, because it still feels like she doesn't have all the information.
I need you to roll perception.
Okay. I gotta be honest, I did not expect to roll this much this session.
Yeah, me neither.
A 21.
21.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, there's an awful lot of stuff here. Some of it seems really disconnected. Like some of it's about star charts, some of it's like history timelines and things like that. And then some of it is very specifically about like the possible uses of time magic and its applications. A lot of which goes nowhere. I will give you that one for free. Like
Okay.
time magic isn't really a thing. Like there are spells to kind of speed up people, slow people down, but the actual controlling of time, not really a thing. But every time it gets to that point in a book, you can see that your mom has just written angry notes about them covering
Okay.
up the truth.
Right. Yes, of course. Okay. Okay, that's good to know. Yeah, I think Yule would just sort of keep trying to read through stuff until her mom got back, unless this guy like tried to talk to her some more.
Abby does fall kind of quiet, but someone does walk in so quietly that you don't notice it for a long while until at the corner of your eye you see another white-haired person sitting in a chair. And it is the same man that you saw on the steps. And you
Yule
see,
jumps.
yeah, Abby kind of jumps at your side as well. And it's like, oh, Ilya, didn't see you there. Yule, this is my son, Ilya.
Oh, nice to meet you.
And the white-haired man just kind of nods a little. And Ilya sits back in his seat and is like, it's very nice to meet you.
She'll look at
Very.
Abby. I assume he's also part of this. She'll like gesture to the table.
And Abby's just like, yes, well, Ilya is very good at going unnoticed in places. Very good at tracking things down.
I see.
Together we're a dream team. He's about your age and very passionate about what we do. Uncovering the truth. Yay, says Ilya.
Right. Yeah. think I think Yule kind of looks at Ilya to see whether or not he seems to have the same vibe as she does sometimes when her mom is going on a rant.
He kind of just offers you like a little understanding nod and a hand and a high five.
She'll reciprocate.
God knows
Yeah,
why they call us the Carnocht, huh?
my mom tends to say the same thing, but you know, I love her, so
Yeah. He just kind of sighs and rolls his eyes a bit. I don't mean to be rude, but I did see you outside.
oh, I'm sorry. I was trying to. My mom
Oh
had written
no,
down on her.
no. That's absolutely that's fine. No, don't worry about it. I just you were staring for quite a while.
Well, I didn't really know if my mom was in trouble or not, and she had written in her notes that there was a white-haired man that she was meeting with, and she'll like gesture to Abby. I guess it was him, but I didn't know. I I'm sorry if I made you uncomfortable.
Oh no, no, absolutely not. You're welcome to look if you want to. And just kind of shrugs, and Abby just clears his throat.
You'll like does like her eyes sort of like shift back and forth, like, wait, what is this conversation?
It's at that point that your mom like bursts back into the room with a flurry of energy, going, "Uniforms!" and just kind of throws them onto another table.
You're grateful for the distraction.
It is at that point that we are going to take a very small break. So, thank you all so much for watching along so far. We're going to go and stretch our legs a little, but you should grab a snack, grab a drink, hydrate, stretch. We'll see you in a bit.
Yay.
Hello. Oh, I was way too close to the microphone. I apologize to
Yeah,
everyone.
yeah, you really were. Oh my god.
It's like, oh, hi.
I apologize. That was on me. There, now the transition works. My goodness. Welcome. We're back.
Still having technical difficulties. Wah!
Yay.
I'd be very proud of me. I stopped myself from making a trans joke.
Thank you. Good. Good.
You're welcome.
So welcome back to part 2 of Hellions of Carnocht. Things have been going well. If you joined us for the first part, welcome back. If you're just joining us now, in the first part of tonight's episode, we joined Del GoldPetal as he prepared somewhat half-heartedly for a party marking his engagement to a mysterious Yenna Mun. We also had a visit from Noelani as a diplomat from the Fray to Del, and then across town, Yuli went chasing after her mom, who was investigating a possible time dilation effect in Karnak, and had seemed to have roped in the help of 2 strange white-haired men.
Yeah, I met her best friend Abby. He
Yeah,
seems nice.
Abby and Ilya. They seem perfectly nice.
Perfectly average men.
Perfectly average men. Thank you.
You're welcome.
We start part 2, if we're all ready.
Yeah.
Hopefully with a snack and a drink in hand,
Yeah.
as we settle into this strange new Karnak without the Lyceum. Tal,
Yes,
it is your first time in Karnak.
it is.
You've lived your entire life in the Elven lands to the west, and this city is definitely not what you were expecting a majority human city to be like. It,
Mm.
for one, is very interesting, very politically fractured, and you've seen an awful lot of half elves. In
Yeah.
the Elven countries to the west, you're kind of an outlier for that. Most of your siblings, most of your cousins are all full-blooded elves in some way or another. So it's kind of nice to see other half-elves around. That being said, it would be a lot nicer to see other half-elves around if your mother wasn't dragging you around every clothing store in Karnak.
Yes.
Personally, dear, I think that this one would be perfect on you. It's just the right shade of green to bring out the red of your hair. And she steps back, letting the tailor drape a cloak around your shoulders. We have to make sure that you make a good impression on the GoldPetal boy. They are the most powerful elven family this side of the divide.
Yes, Ma.
I know this isn't your favorite thing to do. And she puts a hand to your cheek and does what she does every time, which is trace the faint line of freckles across your nose. But if you can just humor me, Tal.
Tal nods. I will. Once this is all, once impressions have been made and such, can I just go to the botanic gardens?
We'll
Like,
make a day of it.
Okay.
I'm not going to
Promise?
keep you. I promise you're not tethered to my heel, Tal. We can make a proper day of it. I can let you wander around the gardens if you'd like. There's a zoological garden too on the other side of town. I looked into it, and they have all sorts of tiny little creatures.
Hmm.
I think you'd have fun.
I'd like that. I don't really like the city very much. There's not enough wildlife.
There's plenty if you know where to look.
I guess
I
it's
know
the
that there's not the bees, there's not the butterflies, but there are other things in the city. Everywhere has an ecological system. You just have to look for it. And she bops you on the nose.
You're right. It's most of, well, it's an awful lot of pests here. I don't like to refer to to animals as and life things as pests, but I don't know. There's rather more than usual, or than I'm used to.
You used to like the field mice.
I like the field mice very much.
Well, just because it's a different breed of mouse and a different breed of rat doesn't mean that they can't still be. And she just makes a motion with her hands as though she's trying to find a word that is more pleasant than pet. But you can see that like she has this impression of them that like no, they are a little bit grubby. They're not pests, but they're a little bit grubby because nobody looks after them here.
Mm.
The tailor who is currently trying to fit the cloak around your shoulder just kind of sighs a little and it's like, you should go and check out the racing pigeons. They're pretty good. There's usually some dogs in the middle of town too.
Oh, okay. I I'll try and find them.
Now, how does this fit? Does this seem right for you? And he takes a step back to let you look in the mirror.
So, what should I roll to see how this fits on me?
Um,
Or at least like my
Good
comfort level
question.
of this.
I can tell you now that it's incredibly fine.
Mhm.
It is a velvet coat, probably in more of a human style than an elven style. So it would be up to Tal whether or not this was comfortable.
This is Ma, this is tight. I don't like it's like I can't move my shoulders. I can't move in this.
Well, you can't show up in your birthday suit. That'll certainly make the wrong impression on the GoldPetals.
I'm not gonna show
Well,
up in my birthday suit. Why can't I wear my own clothes? Why do I have to wear this thing with a tight collar and so restrictive and high, and it's just like pulling at the tight collar of the, or to him the tight collar of the jacket, and it's just like why does it have to be high collars all the time?
let me tell you a thing, Tal, that my father once told me. When we visit a city, we bring with us gold, economy, and to show thanks to the people who have housed us and worked for us our entire stay, we should at the very least spend a decent amount of money in the town. Most preferably with its local businesses. If that means that you have to suffer a tight collar for a night, I think that's more than worth it. Besides, it makes you look quite dashing. Look how it defines your shoulders. And she like wiggles it a little bit to try and see if she can make it looser for you. I've always liked
And
human fashions.
sorry.
Oh, I said I have always liked human fashions.
Yeah, I guess it's something I've
Besides,
learned to like.
that's the spirit. Besides, if you meet any dashing young men at the party, you're going to want to make an impression.
Yeah, I guess. And Tal's just going very, very red across his cheeks and his ears.
Why, you could spend the entire night dancing away. I'll make sure I'll stay out of the way.
Thanks, Ma.
and I think that we should get a nice loose shirt and some trousers to match that jacket. I don't suppose she has shoes too, and she kind of bustles away with the tailor. And you hear very swiftly after discussing shoes, she's on to discussing her own dress for the party.
And I'm very much just like yelling after her. It's like, not shoes. Please don't make them tight. I hate tight shoes.
And she puts up her hand and is like, I'll try, darling.
It's very
Um,
much Tal as someone who would prefer to be walking around barefoot and barefoot in grass and wearing loose, comfortable clothing so he can just like wander and climb a tree if he wants to, and just so he can look at interesting bugs and birds and plants, and something preferably with pockets that he can stick moss in, and no one will be any wiser.
Well, there are a couple of things that catch your eye. The jacket that you're wearing, your mother seems to have taken those things into account and actually closes with clasps of little golden birds, and has very deep pockets. But this is really the first moment that she's left you kind of alone.
Mhm.
And the store itself it's a fairly small one for all that the finery in it is incredibly expensive. Not that Tal really understands money.
Absolutely not. He has no concept of money. So I'm gonna wander, sort of look around the store, see what else is to be seen, to be had.
Roll perception.
Where are my dice? There are my dice. There we go.
Oh dear.
Alright.
Okay. What did you roll?
Well, I'm trying to find where what my perception is. Oh, it's plus 13. It's a 15.
You rolled a 2.
Mm-hmm. I rolled a
Oh,
2.
oh my goodness. Okay. All right. Um, so you don't find an awful lot that you really like in the store, but what you do find behind the counter where you shouldn't be looking is a stack of flyers that the shopkeeper appears to have collected over a random amount of time. They're all kind of stuffed together in a little box. And one of the top flyers is a bunch of swans drawn on a piece of paper that says, "Come to the Swan and have a roaring good time," with an address in Cat Alley.
Oh god. I'm gonna just pocket that pocket that advertisement.
All right, you have one raunchy flyer.
Yep.
Okay, good job.
Thank you.
It's in a flurry of energy that your mother returns, arranging for boxes to be dropped off at the hotel that you're staying at. And the moment that she flounces back into the room, she reaches for your arm and guides you out the door as though it's you who's doing the guiding instead of her.
Mm-hmm. She's doing a very good job leading me.
And she pulls you out onto the street.
Did you get everything sorted for your own Dressma?
Everything is sorted and dear. But there is something that I do have to discuss with you, Tal.
Okay.
I really want you to make a go of Carnocht. I really want you to try and enjoy the city. I know it's not your favorite, and I understand that it might be quite difficult should we extend our stay here. But I
We're going to be extending our stay here. We're not going home. when we said we would?
Perhaps not immediately. She stops on the street and kind of reaches out to take your hands in hers. I know that you've heard some horror stories about your father, and that we were estranged for some time, but he wrote to me a few months ago expressing a wish to meet you.
I don't want to meet him, though.
Are you sure?
No. Um, I don't remember much of when we lived with him, but I remember him yelling, and I don't. I'm afraid of him.
You wouldn't have to meet him alone. It would feel wrong of me to pass up the opportunity to let you at least get to know him somewhat as an adult.
Okay. As long as I'm not alone, I think that will be all right.
My darling son, I would never again leave you alone with that man. That being said, you do have brothers. And whilst they may only be half brothers, they are still your blood, and you should deserve a chance to get to meet them too.
I would like to meet them.
Well, I will make some arrangements then. But yes, that would mean that we would be extending our stay in Carnocht for a little while to arrange all of that. And then let's leave the rest of it until after the party. We'll have a good time.
Okay. Yeah. But we will go back home, right? I'm not going to spend the rest of my life here. Am I?
Absolutely not. We'll go home whenever you're ready. And
I'm ready to go home now.
we'll go home whenever you're ready after we've done what we said that we'll do. And she gives you a look. She gives you the mom look.
I just thought that I'd try my luck. We'll go home after all this, and maybe I'll like the city.
There are a few people here that I would truly like you to meet. I hope that you can see at least some of the beauty of the city. I know that you had a fondness for your animals for quite a while. And she kind of gives your hand a little squeeze.
Mm-hmm.
And well, there are people who can teach you out in the world who can't teach you at home. We live in such a small town. It's the point in your life where I know it's different for you specifically. You've grown so much faster than I ever would have wanted you to. But you shouldn't feel so constrained by simply living in our small sphere of things. I want you to experience life. And unfortunately, life tends to happen in cities.
Yeah. I guess it'll be nice to meet people my own age who aren't my cousins.
She makes a little face and then is just like, exactly that, dear.
I'm
And I think you and the GoldPetal boy would make fair set friends. You're both similar ages, respectively. And he's doing quite well for himself out here. That's why I want you to make a go of the party.
right. Yeah. I will give it my best shot. Uncomfortable jackets and all.
Thank you, dear. As I said, I know it's not your favorite, but it makes my heart glad to see you try.
Yeah, I'm happy to try. I can't promise that I'll love it. But I will give it a shot.
If it's absolutely awful, we'll just forget everything else and go and have a good time at the Botanical Gardens. I'm sure they'll accept a late night visit.
Yes. Deal?
If not, you can always jump the fences. And she gives you a little wink, and it's like, deal.
Okay. And it shakes on it. The conspiratorial expression on his face.
Now, I don't suppose you fancy checking out some of the local. And she starts like hurrying down the street towards one of the local bakers.
Oh, yeah. Tal hurries after her. Probably catching up fairly quickly because his legs are presumably longer than hers are.
Absolutely. Tal's mother is tiny, and yeah, she is very small.
Mhm.
You stand above her easily by like head and shoulders.
Yeah.
But as you run towards the bakery in town, there is something else of note happening towards the docks.
Oh.
As the ships come in, and there are the shouts of sailors, Yenna, the vessel that has bore you to Carnocht, has finally docked. The gangplank is against the pier, and the sailors that you have been with for the past few weeks are tying off the lines and the sails. You are home.
Hmm. Um, am I expecting anybody to meet me at the docks?
You are expecting at least a steward of your fiance's holdings to meet you. If not, your fiance himself, as this would be only polite.
Mm-hmm.
You are, however, joined by a small entourage of your own.
Okay. Who do I have with me?
You have one seamstress and one lady's maid, essentially, who would be looking after all of your needs for the time that you are in your new home, as well as about 10 other staff that you would have been able to handpick.
Okay. So not a small crew. pretty decent sized people.
No, your parents made sure to send you off with a proper household.
Nice. Cool. Um yeah, I guess I will wait until it is easy enough to get off the boat and probably be on deck looking out, being like, all right, let's look for the fanciest fucker. That's what
It's
we do
It takes you a little longer than you think it would to spot anybody. But the first person that you do spot is what looks like a very tall elven man who seems to be arguing with your ship captain and very loudly proclaiming that he's here to collect you.
In that phrasing, I'm going to be like, delightful. And she's just gonna like, all right. How closely are my attendants watching me?
As closely as you would want them to.
So not very.
Not very closely at all.
Right.
Your lady's maid, however, would be staying a little bit closer to you than the others.
What is my lady's maid's name?
That is a good question. Where are my notes? Sorry. Bear with me 2 seconds.
Uh-oh.
We seem to have lost our DM.
We seem to have lost the person
in
driving the
charge
ship.
again.
The DM has left me. Hanging.
1 second. Leaves forever.
Couldn't tell if that was on purpose.
I know. I thought it was just a comically long pause, and then I saw the little image go away.
That does sound like Balthazar.
Yeah, let's put it on the spot. Leaves.
Yeah. Yeah,
Oh
exactly.
my god, that's so real.
That's why they've got a little Balthazar cloak on. It's the real reason.
Mm-hmm.
We're all the DM now, exactly.
In charge. We hope you're enjoying our episode of the start of the loop.
Yeah.
Yes,
Make
how's
sure
everyone
you use-
liking?
Make sure you use all those chat commands to find us and yell at it about it on the internet.
Yeah, if you're
We will
just
be
joining
yelling
us
about-
and you're like, what the fuck's going on?
We will be yelling about it nonstop for
Yes.
the next week.
Probably.
And yeah, I for one am very happy that I started my long swims again because that's the only way I can process these.
Well, thanks, Striker.
Yeah.
Yeah. Once our it feels so strange not having a little Balthazar overlooking us in the corner. I'm
Yes.
just like looking
Just
at our setup
looming.
like, oh.
Mm.
What are they doing?
Yeah. Yenna finally got here.
Yeah.
Let her in.
Let her in.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh no, poor Yenna's tied up at the border with passport issues.
Oh. I can't believe
my
fucking
visa's not approved.
I can't believe Yenna is about to run away from Belial.
Oh no, she wasn't gonna run away. She was gonna run up to him and be like, "Hi,
Good.
you're
good.
looking for me?"
Is it me? I can only assume it's Belial. I'm like getting the NPC thing ready. Just waiting to hear a name.
Oh yeah, no, I'm very excited to be like, oh, I will meet him first.
Oh, hello! We have a DM again. Welcome back.
Right.
I'm so sorry. Can you all hear me?
We can,
Yes,
yeah.
you're good.
As you cackle.
Oh.
Lossie walked over my phone, knocked it off the desk, and it slid under the. I've got a guest bed behind me, and it slid under the guest bed.
Amazing. Stunning. No
Trusted
notes.
sitting under there to try and get it. And then
Yes,
she was just
cat.
yelling loudly for a little while. So I was like, okay, well, I'm going to let you get that out of your system before I reach out. I am so sorry. What a time.
Listen,
Beautiful, beautiful,
that was the
beautiful.
most in character you've ever been as Balthazar. Just wait, a question I don't know. 1 second. Leaves.
Please, yeah. No, you're right. You're absolutely right. Yep, no good. No notes.
No notes.
But yeah, anyway, your latest mate is Zanthe.
What?
Zanthe,
Sanghae?
yeah.
Okay. I'm just gonna like elbow Sanghae and be like, hey, cover for me?
For how long and with what?
Just in general. And then I'm just gonna skitter away to like I assume the captain and Belial are not on the boat.
They're not, no, they are on the pier. But you hear from behind you, oh, look, a crane! And, like, all of your entourage kind of turn and are unimpressed, essentially.
Amazing.
But your poor lady's maid is trying.
She does her best. Yeah, but I'm getting off the fucking boat. How do I get off boat?
Getting off the boat is really easy. Like, the side of the boat is just open, it's free, no one's gonna stop you. In fact, most of the people on the boat are essentially unloading all of your holdings that you've brought with you, as well as the gifts that your family have sent for the GoldPetals.
Beautiful, wonderful. Yeah, I'm getting off the boat. And I'm just gonna see, can I like sneak up on these men?
Roll a stealth.
Sure, I can do that. Oh god, there's so much more math now. The numbers are so big.
I know, right?
28.
Okay. What's your plus on stealth?
I have a plus 12 to stealth, and I am trained.
Okay, all right. You can indeed creep up on them.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
You can get fairly close. You can't get like so close that you're standing right behind them or anything, but you could get close enough that you're about 10 feet away.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just gonna stand there, and like I imagine that because it was the day we were arriving, she's dressed like pretty prim and proper.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just gonna sit there, like hands folded in front of me, and just like watch them bicker.
The Bikram kind of goes on with just a look, I'm not letting you see the young man until I have like direct confirmation from Lord GoldPetal himself, and then the steward that is there is indeed the manservant Belial, and is just like, look, I have been sent to make sure that she makes it to the GoldPetal residence in one piece. Just, and he puts his head in his hands, and it's just like, give me strength.
At that point, she's gonna be like, "Are you my escort?"
Belial jumps quite clearly. Jumps and does like a little startled spin to look at you, and very quickly seems to remember himself and vows, I am indeed your escort. Yes, 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 I am.
Mm. Okay. Would I have, for any reason, thought somebody else was going to be here?
I mean, the politest option would have been Del being there.
Right. No, I'm nosing around for like another boy. But okay. I'd be like, all right. Well, Captain, I appreciate your caution, but it's probably fine. And I've been on a boat for like 2 weeks, 3 weeks. I'm gonna go.
Hmm. The captain kind of pauses and opens his mouth as if to argue, and then realizes that it's your family who's paying him, so he really can't argue if you're making the rules, which has been how this has worked the entire trip. And it's just like, all right, I suppose that is exactly what you're going to do. And he just
Yeah.
gives you a little mock salute and steps back.
All right. Can you make sure my people know where I'm going?
Belial kind of holds out a piece of paper with all of the details printed on. If you'd be so kind to give this to them. We'll sort everything else out. And the captain takes it and just kind of looks between the both of you and is like, all right, and carries on up the gangplank back onto the ship.
Thank you again. And I'd be like, hi.
Hello.
Nice to meet you. I'm Yenna.
Belial. I forgive my rudeness.
You're fine.
The young master has sent me ahead. He is unfortunately tied up with greeting guests for your engagement.
Okay. Okay.
I
Well,
have arranged a carriage, and he stop talking in the Discord. He holds out a hand towards a carriage that's a very fine carriage indeed, pulled by 4 horses,
mm-hmm.
and already several of pieces of luggage for yourself are on the back.
All right.
I have tried to make it as easy a journey as possible.
Carriages are fine. And she'll just like kind of hop in. She's being very like, this is fine. If I'm getting kidnapped, this is a good carriage. This is more interesting than boat.
Bilal kind of climbs in and sits politely to the side, not looking at you or anything. And an awkward silence descends as the carriage just kind of judders to a start. I hope that everything at the house will be to your liking.
Does it have a roof?
It does have a roof.
I'm sure it's fine.
It
The
even
gold
has a
petals.
bed
Wow.
and a bath
Uh-huh.
and a pool.
Wonderful. Well, I have my own room.
Yes,
Good. Perfect.
good.
Yes.
Yes. Your staff, we have made room for them.
Oh, good. Thank you.
Your lady's maid will have her own room too, adjacent
Mhm.
to you.
Is there any chance that I have heard rumors about my betrothed before?
That is a very good question. Uh,
He's an
I would
alien.
like to. Please roll society. I feel like society is a good call here.
Okay.
I genuinely have no idea what is a good call and what is not.
Well, 22, so not amazing.
Okay. You've definitely heard that he might be an alien.
Cool.
You've also definitely heard that he's a troublemaker. And that he is known for being particularly giving to his staff and the staff of others, and kind of upsetting what people expect him to act like. Not in any rude sort of way, but just in that he tends to be overtly familiar.
Hmm.
That has pissed off quite a few people.
Let's see. Um.
You can roll society to see if you've heard like anything about the steward that you're with at the moment.
Yeah. Not any better, honestly. 23.
Okay, yeah, no, you haven't heard anything about Belial, unfortunately.
This is fine. Be like, huh. So, you've worked for the GoldPetals for a long time?
10 years.
It's a long time, I guess. Um,
It's, uh, I suppose.
long enough that you know, uh, Dell pretty well?
You could say that I know the young master very well, yeah.
And, what's he like?
He is a very good man.
Okay. That's good. Um, does he have a favorite food?
Why do you care to know?
My understanding is well, conventional wisdom says that a way to a man's heart is through his stomach, I think.
That is certainly a saying. I've heard it too a couple of times. Do you intend to go for his hunt?
I mean, we're gonna be married.
Very true.
That's
He,
my understanding is that's how it works at some point. You like start out as strangers and you eventually like each other and maybe respect each other. And then like when you're old you like love each other or something.
I think perhaps you are correct. Um, but perhaps you should both work towards mutual trust and respect first. Uh, he likes those little tiny pancakes
That's so cute. Oh my god.
with the whipped cream and the syrup.
He sounds like never mind, that's rude and I won't say it.
He sounds like what?
He sounds like a teenage girl.
You're right, that was rude and we shouldn't have gone there.
And she just starts kind of like giggling about like this guy is is a bit of a stick in the mud. This will be entertaining. I promise not to say disparaging things about your master while you're present.
That does not instill confidence. That
Well,
implies that you may say it when I'm not there.
I will say probably lots of things when you're not there.
I can definitely see that happening.
Like,
Oh, look, we're here. He opens the door like a good 30 seconds before the carriage stops and just kind of clings to the outer step for a second until he can offer his hand to help you down.
mm-hmm. She will take it and like kind of be overly dainty. about it. And then sort of like, cute house.
It is a cute house. You are correct. It is that towering townhouse, white brick and very pristinely kept, with ivy climbing on the outside. It does not look like the house of a young lord, but it very much has the appeal and appearance of what you and your learnings have come to realize is like the ideal of a family in the middle of the city of good standing.
Mm-hmm.
You get the impression that this was definitely bought for Dell as a wedding gift,
Mm.
and that the family probably expects you both to live here for the foreseeable future.
Saying the garden is so small.
There's a bigger garden at the back. And
Okay.
Belial's got your trunk that he's just holding very awkwardly as he's waiting for you to go up the stairs, because the steward of the door, we shall call them, the steward of the foyer, has kind of already opened the door and is waiting for you to go up. They're just awkwardly waiting for you to do whatever you're gonna do.
Yeah. And she is like looks perfectly calm and confident, but is also like definitely hesitating a long time. Like she is definitely putting people out before she just starts going like, all right, and walks up the stairs as confidently as possible.
As you walk up the stairs, I would like you to roll perception, please.
Sure. As the dice goes on the floor. We're gonna use a
Beautiful.
different dice. That one's been mean to me. Oh gosh, so many. Am I stupid? Do I just not see perception?
It's right at the top of the sheet.
Oh,
It's
it's
not
been a
where it's
different
picking
place. Yeah. Sorry. 27.
Okay, and what is your plus on perception?
+8.
Okay. So, as you enter the house, you do hear Belial mutter, "Maybe I made a mistake in suggesting her."
Um, he's gonna like almost like horror turn and look at him, and like her pupils will have like turned into the little slits, and she's like, "What?
What? I'm sorry, I didn't say anything.
Are you implying that I'm a mistake?"
Absolutely not. The steward that was letting you in has disappeared.
And you just get like toothy, sharp little grin. I'm just like, huh. I see the rumors are true. That Dell
And
is very lenient with his staff.
Belial frowns, almost as though in confusion, and then looks at you very warily. Dell is as good with his staff as his staff are to Dell.
Hmm.
Perhaps you would like to enter the house and meet your fiancé.
He like turns up her little nose at him and now is just full flounce into the house. She is found confidence in anger.
Dell, it is midway through the day. Your father is here, though God knows he is being entertained by someone who is not you, because you were busy. You have been busy since you went into that parlor that morning, receiving guests and well wishes, and making sure that it was all attended to as wonderfully and as clumsily as you wanted. Until seemingly after hours, the steward enters and very hastily and panicfully says, "Young lord, your fiancé has arrived."
Del panics right back. Oh god, wait. Sorry. I was muted. There we go. I'm back. Okay. Del panics right back. What was the last bit? I was freaking out over not being muted.
The steward just whispers, "He's not getting on very well with Belial."
He's just instantly like up. I will say at some point during the day, Del made himself a coffee.
Mm-hmm.
And to be clear, it is an alchemical coffee.
Okay.
Which just gives me a small bonus on society rolls. He was really floundering in there.
Beautiful. Wonderful. I love that the first thing you did with your new class and this new game
was make
to
coffee?
make yourself a coffee. Yeah.
Thank you. It's vanilla, if anyone's wondering. The fact that it actually like it's like, yes, this coffee will produce a benefit to this I live for this. Okay. So yeah, my boy has been nursing a coffee for the last little while now. And yeah, will snap to attention the instant that he knows that his fiancé has arrived. And I guess now has to give up all pretense of avoiding speaking to his father, because that was definitely why Belial packed the day like he did. So yeah, Del will make his way as quickly as he can in a very a brisk pace, but something befitting of someone of his standing.
Before you manage to leave the room, the steward is like, Should I fetch the lord, sir? Your father, sir."
I think it would probably be best to meet with my father and my new fiancé in a more secluded place. I will go greet her.
"I'll make sure your father is as far away from the room as possible, sir." And he's going to run out the other side of the room to try and intercept your father and slow him down a little, make sure he's not going to interrupt.
Okay. And Del will again make his way as quickly as he can to the front door to greet his bride to be. Oh, we are both so charmed by this.
This is a very funny idea for us.
Yeah.
So you two specifically.
Yes.
We've been giggling about this for like a year.
The fact that we can actually make it happen now is very funny.
Yes.
All right.
Yenna, Del, it is the first that you've seen each other. It's the first that you've had the opportunity to meet. Your families have been speaking of each other for the past 2 years. Longer. When they were settling the contract that would see you two betrothed.
And Del will just in a low bow, knowing that it is actually appropriate this time. And I feel like maybe even a little bit lower because he's a little bit taken with how short Yenna is as well. It feels weird not to be able to like bow low enough so that like, you know, he's under her head kind of thing. Like that's not that's not really possible.
First time they meet, Del falls over trying to bow.
Yeah, almost. But yeah, he will give a bow and say, "It is a pleasure to meet you, Lady Yenna."
The pleasure is all mine. All pretense of like how fucking mad she was is gone. She's like as delightful and like sweet as like a young lady of like noble heritage would be. Um and she's given like a pretty good curtsy, but it's clear like that's just not what they do at home. So she's just like, I'm gonna need to practice.
Del, I would like you to roll perception, please.
So I'm gonna say I didn't roll well, but also this bitch is gonna look at Belial the first chance he gets to be like, "Is everything okay?" So, wait, I can't find my perception. Why is
Top of the sheet.
Oh, what?
It's
Top of the
above
sheet.
the regular skills.
Yeah.
Oh, that's why.
Yeah.
17. It can't do that to me. It can't put one thing in a different place. That's ridiculous.
With the 17, you can clearly see that Belial is pissed off.
Yeah.
And he's mouthing something at you, but you can't quite make it out.
Oh, wait. Wait. No, I have a skill feat. I have a skill feat. I can read lips. I'm proficient.
Okay, alright. And what does that proficiency mean?
That I get to roll a society check for it. Because it's for eavesdropping on people.
Then go for it with that +1 from your coffee.
+2 from my coffee, thank you very
the
much.
+2 from your coffee.
Which is good because I'm fucking... These rolls, these dice are not being kind to me right now. They know. It's a 19.
Okay. With a 19, you can make out that Belial is saying, Mayday.
Oh god. Yeah.
He's saying Mayday and prepare for shit to hit the fan.
Oh god. Okay. And yeah, Del kind of like doesn't nod, but has a moment of recognition. With his staff member, whom he is very good to. One sec.
Sorry, cats interrupting the stream is just a thing.
She ate it. Don't worry about it.
Well, it's too late to do anything now.
It's too late now, yeah. And yeah, he will I guess motion to take Yenna's hand. He wears gloves, by the way. So he offers her a gloved hand. And I believe my father will want to make your acquaintance now that you've arrived. And he seems just as thrilled as he feels.
I suppose so. She looks at the gloved hand and is like a little surprised before she just like kind of like rests her hand like on top of his and that like very like Regency, we are not holding hands. This is clearly a presentory thing.
Good, yes.
Yeah.
They're on the same page.
She will just be like, all right.
And he will lead them back, I assume, to the parlor or to wherever he knows his father will be.
The steward, who had kind of tried to hurt your father before, is suddenly once more just there again, as most of your staff tend to be. They know where they are needed and when. and immediately makes an elegant motion for you to follow him further into the house. Towards the back of the house, though, where the kitchens are and the serving staff are all getting ready for the evening, very hard at work doing the catering and cleaning the silverware and making sure that everything will be just so. Yule and her mother try to blend in with the extra staff. Across town, Noelani, you're getting ready for a party the likes of which you weren't ever sure that you would be invited to, but hey, this should be fun for a little while, right? Tal, you are getting ready for a night that may not be exactly your cup of tea, but hey, you've got some exploring of the town to do after. And as the clock ticks onwards towards the engagement party of GoldPetal and Yenna Mun, things are afoot in Carnocht. That's where we're leaving it for this week. Thank you so much for joining us for this first session of the new loop. I hope that you guys have enjoyed watching as much as we've enjoyed playing. I would like to say a big old thank you to our patrons. Without your support, we wouldn't be able to do the show. It means the world to us. And if you would like to discuss anything that happened in tonight's Hellions, or if you just want to get to know some other people who like going crit shows, please hop into our Discord. It's a pretty nice place to hang out. And there's a Hellions channel on there too, where you can contact us all, because we all hang out in there too.
Yeah.
And that is it for this evening's Hellions. I don't believe we've got any currently running shows.
We don't, but there is not necessarily like a sister show, but a bunch of people who have been on other Going Crit network shows are actually doing a stream that started just a little while ago. So I was gonna pop us over there after.
Oh, awesome and brilliant.
Yeah.
And we will see you guys next time.
Yes,
We'll be
thank you
back
for
next
coming.
Monday. Same D&D time, same D&D channel. Keep rolling, guys. We'll see you soon.
Thanks for
Bye.
watching. Goodbye.
Bye.